It is Wednesday, June 3rd of 2020, and I made an unusual purchase, which I'm going to talk about today on Guy's Daily Drive. Okay, I'm on my way home. Afternoon just started, and I'm sleepy for all the reasons that I talked about earlier today in the previous Guy's Daily Drive. And I made a purchase the other day, and was it the smartest thing I could have bought? Not really. Did I need it? Not really. But I like to dabble on different sides of the block when it comes to technology. I don't just like to hold on a second. I don't like to just work with Mac computers or iOS phones. I have an Android phone. I don't really use it much, and that was mostly to see if I could get it to run Samsung's, can't remember what it's called now, their desktop environment using Android. Can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but you have to have a Samsung phone to do it, and it has to be of a particular vintage. And even older Samsung phones that will allow you to do this are still pretty expensive, and certainly way more than I want to spend just to satisfy my curiosity on how well it works. However, there is one platform that I keep coming back to try, and for one reason or another, in whatever form it is that I'm using it, I give up on it, and it'll be a few months later before I'll try it again, and that's Windows. Now, I'm not such an Apple head, I'm not one of those screaming, froth-producing Mac fanboys that is, it's Apple all the way, I'm never going to use anything else, Windows sucks, blah, 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 blah. No, I don't do that. I use Windows at work, and it's fine. I don't have any problem with Windows. And Windows 7, I thought, was a particularly good operating system. Windows 8 was a steaming pile of garbage. Windows 10 struck me originally as a steaming pile of garbage, but it's gotten better now that it's no longer like trying to force you to almost go into tablet mode. Oh, that kind of truck. I hate it when people do this. They get over, they take a right-hand turn, they go up a service road, they get past the light, and then they get back out so that they can skip the light. It's like, what is your hurry? What makes you think that whatever it is you're doing is going to be improved by not waiting 30 to 45 seconds at a light for it to turn green? Anyway, getting off that. Just idiots. Idiots on the road. So, I've tried it in several different ways. I've tried it on a standalone hard drive when I had my Mac Pro, and because I had 4 internal drives on that Mac Pro, I didn't have any problems dedicating a single drive to Windows. It was worked fine. Had a pretty beefy graphics card in it. It had like a RX 580, 8 gigabytes of video RAM. It was a nice card. I've tried it a couple different times on my current iMac, and it's not a great experience, you know. And the problem, and here's the problem in a nutshell. It's not, Windows isn't the problem. The problem is Apple's Boot Camp is also now a steaming pile of garbage. Here's the truck right in front of me that just did that stupid get around the light. What a moron. So I dedicated like 500 gigs of a 3 terabyte hard drive, and it was a Fusion drive, which is also a steaming pile of crap from Apple. And it works, I can boot into it, but the problem is Windows updates. Anytime anything gets updated, it stops working, and then I have to go and re-download the OS all over again. And even if I get the updates at that point, then I've got to reload all the apps, and it's not fun. So I generally just, eventually I delete the partition and I give all of that space back to the Mac OS, which is probably what it wanted in the first place. But I was online, and I was on Facebook, and there was a guy on Facebook that was advertising cheap Windows PCs for $100. And it's like, I can, for curiosity's sake, and to see if I can get Windows running on a halfway decent computer, and kind of play games as well as just keep my finger in the Windows pie. And I asked him, when I got a hold of him, I asked him on Facebook if he also had any graphics cards. And he did. He had a 2 gigabyte graphics card that he threw in for like $15. And so that, with shipping, all in all, the whole computer cost me $140. I'm using, and I may change this out, I'm using just a plain old Apple USB keyboard and some no-name mouse. And it works fine. If I was relying on this machine to do regular Windows stuff all the time, it'd be a fine computer. And $140, not bad. So, but the one thing it doesn't do well, or not that well, is games. The graphics card that's in it is just not really up to the task. I can't remember what size the hard drive is. It's not a really huge hard drive. But I can pick up an SSD for not much money. I can put like 16 gigs of RAM into it instead of the 8 that it currently has for not much money. And I may do those things. But what I want to also find out is what type of cards are there that's out there without spending like a huge amount of money that's going to improve the graphics performance of this computer. And again, I'm not expecting, a whole lot. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. It's a cheap computer that I don't want to put a whole lot of money into for just the little bit of use that I may get out of it. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Is this the turn? Yes. So I've got this cheap computer, and I may put another $100 into it at most, and it will continue to. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space either. Plus, I had an existing monitor, so everything is relative. It's not really that hard to use. Oh no, this doesn't go through. Okay, it's fine. So I can keep dabbling along in Windows and play some not hugely system resource required games. And Windows is fine. There's nothing. If you're a Windows person, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you should rush right out right now and get an Apple because Apple's the best and blah, 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 blah. No. Computers are a tool. Get the tool that best fits the job that you need it for. So that's going to be it for today. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Want me to see it again? Like, share, subscribe. That's all you got to do. Really would appreciate it. If you want to get a hold of me, guy@mymac.com. Also, twitter.com/MacParrot, twitter.com/VertShark. So, Dad trying to get his son across the street. There we go. Okay, he's good. And what else? I do the Mac to the Future live cast. I don't know if I'm going to do one tonight. I'm just so tired. With Warren Sklar and David Ginsburg, as well as the MyMac.com podcast every single weekend with Mr. Gaz of the Maz. And again, that I think is going to do it for today. Thank you also very, very much for watching and or listening. And I will see you next time right here on Guy's Daily Drive. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.